I'm a huge fan of guitar-based music, everything from classical through to death metal, but I draw the line at jazz. Because although there are some fantastically talented jazz musicians, almost everyone I've ever met who describes themselves as a jazz fan has been an utter tosser. They only have two topics of conversation, which are jazz and themselves, and frankly, I'm not interested in either. I think the reason that pornographic magazines are often referred to as jazz mags is because they're bought by wankers. But I don't just listen to music, I also play guitar in a heavy metal band. And most evenings I will be perusing eBay to see if there's anything that takes my fancy. But now a man from Florida has made a true one-off guitar. Because he's made it from his dead uncle. Meet Yargo Anax. Not only does he look like a time traveller from 1987, but he also goes under the stage name Prince Midnight. Words cannot express how much I don't want to go to one of his gigs. His late uncle introduced him to heavy metal before tragically dying in a road accident aged just 28. His body was given over to science and his skeleton was used in a classroom for 20 years before finally being laid to rest in Greece. But his relatives in the USA struggled to pay the rent on the grave. So Midnight arranged for him to be dug up and shipped to the USA for the express purpose of having him made into an electric guitar. Prince Midnight approached several guitar specialists, but they all declined the project. Because he sounds like a fucking psycho. Imagine him walking into a guitar shop or a music specialist and saying, "I love my deceased relative so much that I've desecrated his grave and I want his earthly remains to be displayed with a piece of wood nailed to his spine and the rest of it electrified." This is not the work of a sane man. So he made it himself, and I have to say, it's one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen. So you have been warned. Here it is in 3, 2, 1. Dear God. From a purely practical point of view, there's no access to the neck past the 13th fret and it's only got one single coil pickup. I bet that sounds like shit. So imagine being a local musician, getting ready for a gig, turning up before the doors open to sound check, chatting with the other bands, having a nose round, seeing what equipment everyone else is using. And then the door bursts open and in comes Prince fucking Midnight with a corpse round his neck, explaining, "Don't worry, it's my uncle." What happened to the rest of the skeleton? Maybe he'll use that to make a drum kit. Apparently, using a human skeleton to make a guitar has never been done before. I've been going to gigs for about 30 years and I've seen and done some weird shit. But that tops everything. And just to make things even worse, the skeletar, as it's now called, won't be used for moving or intricate pieces of music because Prince Midnight is in a punk band. And to play punk music, you need two fingers on your left hand and any way of hitting the strings with your right. Complex it is not. I expect the rest of the family will want to be cremated. Thanks for watching.